COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years. This is a tragic fact of the matter that about his perilous hour, that how he's dealing with this perilous hour in our nation. And now we have to stand against violence in every form it takes. Violence we've seen again and again and again of unwarranted police shooting, excessive force, 7 bullets in the back of Jacob Blake, knee in the neck of George Floyd, killing of Breonna Taylor in her own apartment, violence of extremists and opportunists, right-wing militias, 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 militias.
Oh, goodness. All right, there is obviously some sort of technical problem.
Digital soldiers to True Reporting. It is the 31st of August, and on today's podcast, as you can see from the intro video, I believe, and I've been saying this time and time again, that we are watching a white hat controlled demolition. Everything that we are watching is in fact a movie created by the white hats to dismantle everything about the deep state in real time. We are going to have to sit back and watch it play out. Remember, 17 told us that we are in fact watching a movie, and I believe that the deep state is pigeonholed and they are being told what to say and what to do. Guys, on today's podcast, we'll be going over some 8kun posts. We'll be talking about Amazon and how they're going to start using drones to deliver packages. I find this to be very dangerous because of who owns Amazon and what that man is all about, speaking about Jeff Bezos. Also, guys, we'll be talking about what's been going on in Portland. We're going to be talking about the Antifa IP addresses and how it keeps moving, who is controlling them. I believe Anons are about to find out and expose it to the general public. Guys, I hope you are ready to get into a great show, and it's always a pleasure for me to be on the front lines with each and every one of you every single day, because in the end, where we go one, we go all. Hey guys, I wanted to tell you about my sponsor, NobleBitcoin.com. Did you know that Bitcoin has surged past $12,000? Pretty remarkable. And Bloomberg says it will go up to $28,000. Some are even predicting it will make a run to $500 this year. As the pandemic shows no signs of slowing down and the country is officially in a recession, the dollar is losing its value, and we all know this. It's time to invest in currencies that are on their way up, like Bitcoin. This is so true. And if you want to know more about your options, the Noble Bitcoin team is here to help. Call them today at 877-646-5347 or go to www.noblebitcoin.com. Again, that is www.noblebitcoin.com. Thanks, guys, for listening to this ad, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. All right, guys, it's good to have you aboard. Before we get into today's show, would you please go ahead and subscribe to my backup channel, True Reporting 2.0. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, follow me on Twitter at True Reporting. This is the place where you will get the notifications because YouTube does not notify you when I do drop a podcast or go live. So the best place to get that information and know when I do both of those things is to follow me on Twitter at True Reporting. And finally, guys, make sure that you leave a like on this video. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers, thus more eyes on the truth. And with that being said, my friends, let's go ahead and hop into today's show. This is True Reporting. So guys, I wanted to show you this coming at us from Aid Kuhn. These kids and the deep state are telling us that these people are not dangerous. They most certainly are, as we can see here. 4 young leftists sentenced in court after hurling chlorine bombs at police officers, nearly killing him and detonating 7 other bombs. 4 young violent leftists were sentenced last week on charges they created a road hazard as a stationary target. They are being shown how to almost create roadside bombs. Then the young leftist hurled a chlorine bomb at a police officer when he stopped to clear the road. The young leftists were sentenced last week to 60 days in prison and probation for 2 years. This is attempted murder. They should be locked up for life. They are being told what to do. They are being paid. We already know this. Think GS. They are getting paid money to go ahead and do this. They even are given their own debit cards, I've been told. The jeffco.us website reported on the violent deviants. Sentencing was held on August 26, 2020, which was about 4 days ago, for 3 of the 4 men convicted of throwing a chlorine bomb. Who told them how to make that? Who gave them that information? At an Arvada police officer as he attempted to clear a road hazard. The hazard was built by the defendants to create a stationary target for their bombs. On April 7, 2019 at 10 p.m., Arvada police received a call from a citizen regarding a road hazard at 72nd and Beach Street. The officer arrived to find that the street signs had been pulled out of the ground and stacked in the middle of the road. Then plastic wrap had been strung across the road. The officer and the citizen began to attempt to clear the road barricade when a plastic bottle was thrown and landed near the officer. He overheard someone yell obscenities at him. When the bottle hit the ground, it began releasing heavy chlorine gas. This is attempted murder, as I just said before. The officer began coughing, became nauseous, lost consciousness, and fell to the ground. Other officers and paramedics arrived at the officer and was transported to the hospital. They detonated at least 7 additional incendiary devices in that same area. Arvada police officers addressed the judge and the sentencing hearing, describing the impact this had on the officer, the entire department, and the community. During the immediate search for the offenders, a code red was issued for a 1-mile radius in Arvada. The officer suffered serious pulmonary damage and spent months going to the medical appointments and missing work, and continues to suffer the effects of the chlorine gas. End quote. These men set up an ambush for a police officer. When the first Arvada officer arrived to clear away the road hazard, he was a fixed target for their toxic chemical bombs, said the DA, Pete Weir. These young men, when purchased these chemicals and plastic bottles at Walmart, mixed the bombs and then set them up for their targets for ambush. The impact on the law enforcement community has been enormous. My friends, these people should not get bail. They should be locked away for all of eternity. This is attempted murder. This is trying to kill a police officer and a bystander. Guys, this cannot continue any further. I understand the president is exposing these left-wing mayors and governors, but enough is enough. We're seeing it so often on Twitter. It is sickening, and it has to end now. Moving forward, speaking of just about the same thing, I found this on 8kun as well. Here's the domain for Antifa.com. It was registered July 14th, 2010. It has been changed 29 times on 29 unique IP addresses over the past 16 years. Now, I'm looking down here and it says, and I would like for you guys to put your opinion in the comment section below, if it was registered July 14th, 2010, how has the IP addresses been changed 29 times over the past 16 years. It has not been 16 years since 2010. There's been 2 registrars and 8 changes on 7 unique name servers over the last 18 years. Please fill me in on how this makes sense. It's very, very bizarre, and I find it quite interesting. So just letting you know is who is the record for Antifa.com. I will scroll through this. The Namecheap Incorporated. You can see the registrar, the status, the dates, the names of the servers, the tech contact, everything is here. The IP addresses, IP location is in Dallas, Texas, Cloudflare. It's been changed 29 times. I find this very interesting. So if you guys have any information, you tech people out there, please let us know in the comments section below. I would greatly appreciate it. And here we go. Moving forward, more of the same. These people are criminals. Man suspected in, you guessed it, a deadly Portland, calls himself 100% Antifa. Why doesn't the left-wing press, why do they not condemn these people? Because they are one and the same. They're both being paid and controlled by the same group of deep state people. Again, the president has to allow this to play out. Casualties of war take place. It's sad, but it's true. The movie must continue to play out, and as long as this movie is playing, we will casualties of war. An ex-military man who calls himself 100% Antifa is ready for in court war, because that's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what I just said, is being investigated over the deadly shooting of a President Trump supporter in Portland, according to a report. Michael Forrest Rennell, 48, is being investigated over the death of Aaron Danielson, a, in quote, supporter of the right-wing Patriot Prayer Group, a prayer group, ladies and gentlemen, who was part of a caravan of Trump supporters who flooded the city Saturday, police sources told the Oregonian. He was identified in part by a distinctive tattoo on his neck of an, in quote, you guessed it, Black Power fist, as well as a call from his estranged sister who recognized him in a video and photos of the deadly attack, the paper said. The 36-year-old sister, whom the Oregonian agreed not to name, I agree because she's going to get death threats as well, was first alerted after a threatening call that woke her up at 8 a.m. Sunday, warning that, in quote, our whole family was in danger unless we turned him over. We reached out to police and confirmed that we recognized Michael in the screenshots from the shooting, she told the paper. The father of the 2 estranged from the most of his family, including his parents, after stealing from them, the sister said. On one hand, the whole thing surprised the daylight out of us, because we always thought he has a lot of bark, but not a lot of bite, she said. But he's also been very impulsive and irrational. I believe that a lot of these people that are out here doing this damage are people that have mental illness. I think that they are using them. I think that they are enabling them. I think they're giving them drugs. I think they are taking advantage of them as well to bring them out. They are basically thrown to the side after they get done destroying and doing whatever they need to do. And again, I have heard that they have been getting their own debit cards. They are being paid. They are being transported. Ted Cruz has talked about this. Jim Jordan has talked about this. Mark Meadows has talked about this. President Trump has talked about this, that these people are moved from city to city. And I know that it is all orchestrated by GS. And again, there are casualties of war. And slowly but surely, this is a baby stepped operation. It has to be very gradual, because by doing this, we are able to see who the true enemy is, and it awakens people more and more who even focus on the mainstream media, which the sheep will surely, hopefully, we should pray for them that they wake up and see what is being orchestrated right in front of their faces. Continuing, she decried the shooting as, in quote, not the solution to the nation's problems. Violence begets violence, and hatred begets hatred. This is not the solution. My heart goes out to the victim. It always has. Before I even knew my brother was involved. Ryanell, who has a son and a daughter, regularly posts about Black Lives Matter and the protests on social media, which is now swamped with threats and pro-Trump messages in the comments. Look at these people. They are insane. Every revolution needs people, and that's exactly what this is, a revolution. Every revolution needs people that are willing to be, are ready to fight, he wrote in June, comparing it to his time in the army. I am 100%, in quote, I am 100% Antifa all the way. I am willing to fight for my brothers and sisters, he said, insisting he would not run from the violence. It will be a war, and like all wars, there you go, my friends, there will be casualties, he wrote, calling protesters and Antifa my brothers in arms. He also claims to have been hit by a rubber bullet while working in, quote, security at protests, and most recently posted video of a flag being burned by a mob chanting F Trump. Rowanell was cited at a July protest on July 5th on allegations of possessing a loaded gun in a public place, resisting arrest and interfering with police, the Oregonian said. He was given a date to appear in court later that month, but the allegations were dropped on July 30th with an, in quote, in no complaint, according to the court records. No reason was given, and the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office said it was reviewing the case, which I'm sure that they will not. He had a slew of other charges as well, including being accused of racing his 17-year-old son at speeds up to 111 miles per hour in June, the paper said, citing the state police. He was also previously charged with having a loaded Glock pistol for which he didn't have a concealed handgun license. When once stopped, his 11-year-old daughter as a passenger, police told the paper, the Portland Police Bureau did not immediately respond to the request for comment because, guys, they are controlled as well. It is a sick, sad situation, and I pray to God that these cities like Portland, like Chicago, like New York, so on and so forth, get cleaned up very, very soon. But remember, these mayors and governors are all blackmail. They are all part of the same regime. As we can see here, check this out. Satanic Portland. Satanic Portland is a group that split from the Satanic Temple. We all know that this is a spiritual war, my friends, in Portland and remains active. It says here, their members include at least one of their owners of, we've talked about this place before, Voodoo Donuts. It reminds me of, you know what, ping pong. See the images where in 2016, a donut eating competition occurred between mayoral candidates, including the current mayor, Wheeler. The mayor is the one with the, in quote, weird on his t-shirt. I'm going to show you these pictures. If interested, Q search for additional information about Voodoo Donuts trafficking. Tracy Timon, rest in peace, who was being investigated. Satanic Portland webpage is no longer available, but the Satanic Temple in Portland still remains active. Look at these pictures I will show you right now. Satanic Portland right there on Twitter. This is allowed on Twitter. Pedo is allowed on Twitter, but conservative voices are not. Right here, Satanic Portland, anti-fascist, the same thing. Unbelievable. We can check this out as well. Look at this. Voodoo Donuts right here, holding up the hand, 6, right? 666. More pictures right here. Look at these people, guys. It's all satanic. This is a spiritual battle. Here is the mayor, as we can see here on the left-hand side. He's wearing the weird shirt. This is him at Voodoo Donuts. These are the people that we are dealing with. They are satanic monsters. This is a spiritual battle. This is an informational war as well, and nothing can stop what is coming. I can promise you that. Look at these pictures, guys. Absolutely disturbing, and you understand where we're at, where we sit on this timeline, that evil is dying, their world is dying, and we are taking back our planet for love, humanity, and light. I can promise you that. We are bringing God back to this 3D realm we call planet Earth. I will leave you with this I find extremely disturbing as well. Amazon gets FAA approval to deliver packages by drones. We all know who controls Amazon, which is Jeff Bezos. He also owns the Washington Post. He paid over $200 million, I believe. It wasn't that much money, according to him. He is part of the problem, and now they're going to start delivering packages by drones, and the FAA agrees to this? Who knows what could be delivered to your house? I don't even want to speculate, but I think you know where I'm going with this. Amazon just got one step closer to sending flying robots to your front door. The Federal Aviation Administration gave the e-commerce colossals approval to make deliveries with drones that could drop off packages within 30 minutes after orders are placed. Who knows what could be sent to the White House? Who knows who could be sent to these white hat people, these white hat operators like Ted Cruz or Jim Jordan or Mark Meadows or the press secretary to the Trump family? Who knows? Again, it says here that the drones could drop off the packages within 30 minutes after the orders are placed, allowing the e-tailing giant to start conducting drone delivery tests. The FAA said Monday it granted Amazon's Prime Air Services an air carrier certificate. I do not like the sounds of this. Under its Part 135 regulations, which allows the company to carry packages on drones and that can fly beyond the operator's line of sight. The approval marks a huge milestone for Amazon CEO's Jeff Bezos and plans to dominate online shopping and part of a dramatically reducing delivery times. Last year, the shopping behemoth announced it would start testing a shift from 2-day shipping to 1-day shipping for Prime customers. The drones, it says, could allow it to reduce shipping even further to under an hour after Prime customers click the buy button. Guys, I don't like this. I find that it could be dangerous. Anybody could send anything anywhere in under 30 minutes. No fingerprints, just put it in there, send it right to your door. This could be very dangerous. And again, guys, I do want you to know from that intro video that I stand by my word and truly believe that we are watching a controlled demolition. This is a movie we are watching. 17 has told us this, and I truly stand by my words. I could be wrong, but I just want to let you know that anything that you see on here is my word. I'm not being told what to say. And with that being said, guys, I hope you fully enjoyed this and you found it very informative. And if you did, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. You can follow me on Twitter at TRUreporting. And don't forget to leave a like. Always know, guys, from the bottom of my heart, it is always an honor for me to stand on the front lines with each and every one of you every single day. Because in the end, where we go one, we go all. Guys, if you found what you just watched informative and you enjoyed it, then please subscribe to the True Reporting family today. There are many ways to support this channel, like our Patreon link, our PayPal link, and our TRUreporting.us official website link in the description box below. Join the True Reporting family today and be a part of history, because where we go one, we go all.